YouTube. My name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. I'm going to be discussing the effects of the solar eclipse that is happening in Gemini on the 10th of June at 20 degrees of Gemini. Listen until the end of this video because I'm going to be giving you the important degrees that you have to pay attention to. I'm going to be giving you important degrees that are highlighted at this lunation. And I'm also going to be telling you which signs are going to be most affected. And we all know that this eclipse is in the sign of Gemini. So this means that Gemini is going to be affected the most. Gemini, this is time for you to choose a path, a new direction in your life. The karmic nodes and your ruling planet are transiting your sign and are a big part of this solar eclipse. This is time to choose you. If you've been considering what other people think, this is the time to let that go. This is about you. We don't come into this world with others. We come into this world by ourselves and we leave this world, unfortunately, by ourselves. So it's time to make decisions that are going to affect you and your direction in life. Every 19 years or so, every one of us gets a chance to redirect our life and to choose you. When you're happy with the direction of your life, everybody else around you is also going to be happy. So choose you this time, Gemini. This is an annular solar eclipse. It is not that close to the karmic nodes. It is about 10 degrees away from the karmic nodes. So it's not a full-blown solar eclipse. However, it's still very powerful because Mercury, the ruling planet of where the solar eclipse is currently transiting Gemini, the sign of the North Node, and is also square Neptune. This aspect is going to bring a lot of mental confusion, deception. Watch out for thieves. Watch out for scammers. Pay attention how you communicate with others. Make sure you understand what people are saying to you. So if you have any contracts that you have to sign, make sure you have your lawyer present and make sure to read the fine print. This eclipse is going to reveal any past deception in communications or dealings. There will definitely be a face-off with others in some situations. So if you were involved in any type of underhanded dealings, they will be revealed. If there was any type of deception in your marriage or in your contracts, everything is going to be revealed at this time. The truth is going to come out no matter how much you try and hide it. This solar eclipse is going to reveal any information that was hidden from you in the past. So there will be endings and new beginnings in relationships and contracts. So whatever situation is going to be revealed or whatever you're going to be faced with at this lunation is not going to necessarily be something new. This information is coming from your past. So it is a situation that occurred before and Mercury is highlighting it for you to re-examine whatever happened with that situation, the communication, the contracts, whatever was said or written contracts. Unfortunately, the square to Neptune is going to make us all feel confused and dazed, and we might not be able to see things clearly. Mercury retrograde square Neptune is going to create a situation of much confusion, misinformation, misunderstanding, paranoia, deceit, and treachery. Let's keep in mind that Neptune also rules drugs and alcohol. So we're going to be very susceptible to infection or poisoning. So have a trusted friend around to make sure you're not self-sabotaging or going overboard or overdoing anything that you're not supposed to be doing. Everything in moderation at this time. We are in eclipse energy, so whatever actions you take at this time are going to have a lasting impact for the rest of your life. The actions you take now will possibly change the whole direction of your life. So be careful and try not to make any life-changing decisions at this time. It's not wise to make life-changing decisions during solar eclipses and whilst Mercury, the ruler of the solar eclipse, is going retrograde. Let's go over what Mercury rules in your horoscope. Mercury is the natural third house of the zodiac, and it rules over things like our immediate environment, our neighbors, our siblings, our learning skills and basic education, information systems, our computers, our phones, and our means of transportation, short distance travel, the written word and the spoken word. So these are all the things that are highlighted. This is about information. We're going to be we're all going to be reevaluating past information. It's very likely at this time to have miscommunications with others. So be careful to make sure. So be careful with your communications. Don't be too aggressive. Don't get into conflicts. It's never wise to do that. It's never wise to do that when Mercury is retrograde, especially during a solar eclipse. 19 degrees of the mutable signs is the degree that is highlighted at this solar eclipse. So look to see if you have anything at 19 degrees of Gemini, and then also look to see if you have something at 19 degrees of Sagittarius. Sagittarius opposes Gemini. Also look to see if you have anything at 15 degrees of Virgo, because that's a square aspect. That's a challenging aspect. So if you have something at 19 degrees of Virgo, you're going to face some challenges at this lunation. Same goes with the sign that opposes Virgo is Pisces, where Neptune is. It's actually going to be more challenging for people with Pisces placements, because this is essentially where the tug of war is really going on between Mercury and Neptune. So watch out for those degrees. And if any of those degrees happen to be at an angle, perhaps the solar eclipse is conjunct your ascendant, your IC, your descendant, or your MC, you're really going to feel this solar eclipse very intensely. Because whenever there's a lunation conjunct an angle, this is really truly speaking to you and that angle. There will definitely be some major decisions that need to be made, and your life is going to take on a brand new direction in that area or on that angle where this eclipse is conjunct. And if it's a planet that is at 19 degrees, we have to find out what that planet rules in your natal birth chart, because that is going to change the whole narrative of what's going to possibly happen. This is how astrologers find out how you're going to be affected by a lunation or an event. When you just listen for your ascendant sign, it's a hit or miss. Sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. And why sometimes it's not true is precisely this reason: the degree of the lunation, if you have anything at that point or not. This is what determines how an event will truly affect you according to your placements. Other people who are going to feel this lunation intensely are people who are born on June 10th, a few days before or after. This intense energy of brand new beginnings is going to be part of your solar return chart. The solar return is from birthday to birthday. When you have a solar eclipse on your birthday, this is the year that you start brand new beginnings. You could start a new job. Some people could get married. Some people could adopt a totally brand new lifestyle and diet, and thus transform their whole appearance. This solar return is not going to go unnoticed. This is the year that you're going to remember in your life, because there will definitely be brand new beginnings. The house of Gemini in your chart. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. Let's start with where the planets are in this lunation. Let's start with the house of Gemini, where this solar eclipse is happening. We have the sun and the moon conjunct at 19 degrees of Gemini. And the transiting north node is at 10 degrees. The proximity of the new moon to the lunar nodes is what essentially makes an eclipse. We also have the planet Mercury, the ruler of this lunation, at 20 degrees of Gemini. Mercury is tightly conjunct the sun and the moon. So the luminaries and Mercury, all these three are square Neptune at this time. This is the aspect that's bringing all this confusion, misunderstandings, and a possibility for conflict and arguments. Saturn is still trining the north node. So this means that whatever decisions that we make at this time, Saturn is going to be supporting us towards our fated destiny. Mars is currently transiting the sign of Cancer. He's about to end his transit though. Mars in Cancer is in detriment. He is not happy in this sign because he is happiest in the opposite sign of Capricorn. One of Mars's strongest characteristics when he's transiting the sign of Cancer is that he's very defensive over his home and family, the homeland, the mother, And unfortunately, in the sign of Cancer, he's also very passive aggressive. At the solar eclipse, he's going to be opposing Pluto, who's transiting the sign of Capricorn. This is a very intense opposition. It's not exactly impacting the solar eclipse because it's not aspecting it in any way. But this is energy that's going to be in the background. All the confusion that's associated with this lunation is going to make some people very passive aggressive. There will be power struggles. People are going to be ready to stand their ground and face off with anybody who opposes them. So essentially, this opposition is going to bring intense feelings of anger, jealousy, resentment, and wanting to go all out. All or nothing. That is Pluto. And Mars is very stubborn. He is going to stand up to Pluto at this time. Essentially, that means that we cannot ignore this background energy. Because depending on where these placements are in your sign, you might come across as very angry and aggressive. And if somebody tries to deceive you or lie to you or try and scam you, it's not going to be very pretty. Solar eclipse conjunct Mercury puts focus on your thinking and your communications and short distance travel. Expect increase in personal interactions in your neighborhood, with siblings, in schools, and over the internet. This will be a busy eclipse phase with lots of appointments, correspondence, meetings, and social activity. There will be new information to process and decisions to be made and decisions to make at this time. Solar eclipse square Neptune can have an effect on our thinking, our vitality. It might make it difficult to get motivated, enthusiastic, and positive about taking any actions. It might make us become lazy. And besides, once you notice all the deception that's going on and misinformation, you might just choose to stay in the background. This aspect can also make you become delusional and over-idealizing others. So we might not be seeing people as they are. We'll be seeing people for their potential or how we would like them to be. People always show you who they are. But at this time, we will have our pink glasses on. But at this time, we're going to have our pink glasses on and start seeing things the way we want. So this means that you can't trust what you hear or see at this time. Saturn square Uranus is an aspect that we've been dealing with this whole year. It was first exact sometime in February. It will be climaxing a few days later on the 14th of June. So we're going to feel this aspect a little bit stronger than we did before because it is happening during a solar eclipse. We're going to have this aspect again around the 29th of December. That will be the last time Saturn and Uranus will be squaring. Saturn is transiting the sign of Aquarius and is going retrograde. And Uranus is still transiting the sign of Taurus and he's going forward. So this means that Uranus is much more powerful at this solar eclipse. This aspect could bring rebellion against restrictions. So expect the unexpected at this lunation. Anything can happen. This aspect is going to bring changes that we don't want. And it's going to make it harder for us to make changes that we do actually want. This can be a very frustrating time of sudden unexpected events. So we have to stay open-minded. Evaluate all the information that's coming at you. Be patient and flexible. Be open to change. After all, this solar eclipse is happening in a mutable sign. So it is mutable energy. Mutable energy is changeable. So if you're open to changing things around situations, you're going to be much more successful that way. If you're rigid, combative, and restricted, you're not going to make much progress with this energy. 5 things you need to know. Number 1, Mercury is the ruler of this lunation. He is transiting the sign of Gemini. This is where the karmic nodes are transiting and essentially making this solar eclipse in Gemini. Mercury retrograde square Neptune means that he is very powerful. And since Mercury is transiting retrograde, he's going to rehash old situations. So things that may have happened in the past are going to be brought up by the people we have in our close environments, our neighbors, our siblings, and all the other people we have contracts with in marriage or in business. So Mercury is going to rehash some old situations, and they will be highlighted at this time. He may also have some new information or new way of looking at past situations. So if there was anything that was underhanded, if there was anything that you had cheated your partner on, all that is going to come up at this time. If somebody was avoiding saying something to you, they're not going to be able to hold it in any longer. It's going to come out. So it's very likely that there will be conflict and arguments at this time. So this element of deception is going to make you doubt whatever you hear from others, and perhaps you also have to be very careful what you're saying to others at this time. Number 2, if you listen to all the other aspects of this lunation, you will know that this is not the time to make any life-changing decisions. It's not the time to sign a major contract. It's not a time to sign a major contract. It's not advisable to get married either at this time, unless you're marrying somebody who also has Mercury retrograde in their chart, in their natal birth chart, and you also have Mercury retrograde. Then that can cancel the energy, because all Mercuries are retrograde. If you don't have this aspect in your sign, please do not sign any contracts. Please wait until Mercury is out of retrograde. Wait for him to start moving forward before you start signing on the dotted line. Most astrologers will advise you not to make those life-changing decisions during eclipse time, because things are just simply not clear. Things are usually revealed a few weeks after the eclipse event. And the fact that Mercury is also retrograde and square Neptune makes this a very, very confusing time. I wouldn't sign on the dotted line for anything at this time. Number 3, this could be a bit helpful for people who are pressed and have to sign something or get into something life-changing at this time. I would suggest you wait a few days after this lunation, because Mercury is going to conjunct the Sun. Mercury is going to be Kazimi the Sun. He is going to be in the heart of the Sun. He'll be sitting with the king. So either he is going to have some information for the king, information that he went and looked over from the past. It's not new information that can move you forward into your future. If whatever you're signing at this time has to do with something from the past, give it a few days after the conjunction of Mercury and the Sun, because Mercury may have some of the missing information that you may need to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Because whatever you do at this lunation, at this solar eclipse, is going to stay in your life for a very long time to come. Number 4, eclipses are portals. They're gateways. They're loaded with 10 times the energy of a regular lunation. So eclipses, lunar eclipses or solar eclipses, are very powerful. They are portals and gateways for things to come into our life or things to be removed from our lives. People may exit our life. New people may come into our life. There could be deaths and there could be births. The main aspect of this lunation is a deceptive aspect. So there could be a lot going on behind the scenes. So we have to watch out for deception, self-deception, disillusionment, deluding others, treachery, thieves, self-sabotaging habits. If you have addiction issues, this is the time to call your sponsor, because it's very likely that you could relapse at this time. And as we know, Neptune rules over drugs and alcohol and poisoning. So it's a time for you to be very careful to not self-sabotage. Find a healthier way to escape if you have to. Number 5. This eclipse is going to push us into a fated direction. After all, this is the sign of the North Node. This is the area where our life is going to be moved along towards our fated destiny. So if something ends during this solar eclipse, I'd advise you to just walk away, because once something is eclipsed out of your life during a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, you cannot reclaim that. It's not going to come back. You cannot repair it. So it is just wise to walk away and go towards the new direction of your life. There is a new beginning waiting to happen. It may not be clear exactly what is going to be new in your life at this time. I believe that whatever ends or whatever is taken out of your life at this time is not something that was going to continue supporting you or pushing you towards your destiny. It has reached its expiration date. So just let go. If you have enjoyed the content of this discussion, please leave me a like and please subscribe to my channel. This really helps my channel grow. Also share my video on your social media or with your friends and family. You just never know who needs to hear this message. You'll be helping my channel grow and you'll be helping whoever it is that you share this video with. So go ahead and hit like, share and subscribe. Also remember to hit the bell icon so that you may be notified whenever I upload new videos. Thank you.